see, you have dragged your physical bodies here, but you are so much more than these physical bodies. You are non-physical energy focused within a physical body. And so there are two aspects of you that are converging here. And that convergence will be more often while we are together. It will be more deeply felt by you. And so sometimes what will happen is we will be considering something together. And an idea will occur to you, something that you are wondering about, or something that you are already knowing about. And you will, again and again, feel your point of view become woven into the conversation. Never before have you felt so much a part of a larger whole. And that is the thing that we are most exhilarated about this collective consciousness. You're going to find yourself, maybe for the first time, maybe not. Some of you have been there consciously before. But you're going to find yourself part of a greater consciousness and understanding things that you have not understood so clearly before. Now, it's going to be normal over the days that are before us that sometimes some insight and clarity will come, and you will feel as if everything that you've ever wanted to know is answered. But that's never going to be the case. And the thing that we want to let you know is 5 minutes later, you may not recall what you knew so much just a moment before. And that's all right, because we're just going to look around again and again and again and again, so that the spiraling upward is going to become more and more and more, because this is not really about you having a question and us giving you an answer. This is really about you discovering what it feels like for you to be in a more consistent way, experiencing the awesome power of non-resistant thought. Now, if you're a normal human, and you are, mostly, you don't spend much time in non-resistant thought because you're here in an environment of contrast. There's so much for you to observe. These are really fast-moving times. There is so much for you to consider, and much of what you are considering is causing you to formulate questions. Much of what you're considering is your data collection. Much of what you're considering are things or experiences that you really don't want in your life experience. But all of that of value. But even while it is of value, much of it still has some resistance within it. And as you are a part of it through your observation or conversation about it, you are resistant in nature too. We call that important step one. We call that
Good morning. Thanks for being here on my live. I'm Hannah Banana. I appreciate you.
Into this personality, into this perspective, so that you could laugh up this experience, so that you could revel with others, and so that questions could formulate within you, so that new desires could be born out of your leading edge experience. And you knew before you came into this physical body that those questions would be born. And
This is what I'm making right now.
Immediately know the answers.
It's sort of hard to see with the shiny, but
that you're so impatient about the answers. And what we know is going to take place in this time that we are together is that that impatience is going to subside, because you are going to come to revel in the importance of you allowing a question to sort of evolve within you, to germinate, to become more, to become big enough that it causes you to launch a big desire. Now that's when it really starts being fun, being in your leading edge physical experience, being in this body, in this time, and in this place. Because as the perfection of the contrast that surrounds you is happening within you, you will be continuously, you are already launching these rockets of desire, is our favorite terminology. You might call it requests or intentions or hopes and dreams. In other words, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And even if you're not speaking it out loud, even if you're not making declarations to the universe about what you want, you are launching this is a vibrational universe. And as you launch that rocket, that non-physical part of you remains non-physical even while you are here in this body. That non-physical cadre of pure positive energy, which is where we are from, which is where we are always. Those of us who are here receive your requests and understand them immediately. We know them.
Thanks for being here on my live today. I'm Hannah Banana. Just gonna show you guys what the finished product looks like. These are my mini mushrooms. These ones are pins. So I'm using Formflex and these molds. This is cornstarch. And this is just the first step of this process. And right now I'm going to scrape away the extra.
So imagine how this is. So you live a little life and you launch a rocket and we got it and we hold it, and then you live more life and you launch another rocket and we hold the vision of what you are continually throwing our way. And all the while, without you even knowing it, each request that you are launching into this non-physical ether, into this what we are calling your vortex, this vibrational reality, all of these requests are finding one another. The harmonics of it is indescribable. Cooperative components are taking place. And not just the things that you are putting out in vibration.
Good morning, beautiful humans. Thank you for being here on my live today. Happy Saturday.
And brighter and more powerful. And it is yours. It is your creation that you have given birth to.
I am working with Formflex.
Not only because you continue to live life and you continue to put
Making
forth more
these.
requests, but because those of us who are non-physical are tending your garden, or knowing what you are wanting, are seeing it fully in its becoming, are knowing the vision that you've set forth. In fact, we are knowing the vision that you've set forth in ways that you cannot yet know it. And the reason that we see it more clearly than you do is because we dwell eternally in a state of non-resistant thought. In other words, when you make your death experience, there's no such thing as death. That word is bogus. There's no death. But when you croak, we try to be as disrespectful as we can about what you think is death, because there isn't any. But when you have what you call your death experience, you reemerge into non-physical. You come where we are, and you leave behind all resistance. But you are not ever going to leave behind all resistance while you're here in this physical body. So don't beat up on yourself when you are in a resistant state. That resistance is part of your decisive process. It's part of what helps you to know more clearly what you are wanting. It's all part of the process. It's a wonderful thing. Just don't hang around in an attitude of pushing so hard against what you do not want.
So after I push them into the mold, the mold goes into the freezer for at least 10 minutes. Usually my attention span and personal life, they stay in there for maybe more like an hour. But then when you take them out of the mold, this is what you get. And they're soft. I usually give them about 12 hours before I start adding paint to them. So I'm just cleaning up the edges. I really like Formflex a whole lot.
You will understand why some things are so easy to some people and some things are so hard to some people. You're going to feel yourself finding a new orientation for this physical life experience. It is our knowing that you are going to be less willing to struggle and sacrifice and be in an attitude of service. You're going to come to know your true power, your true place, why you are really here, the upliftment that you have possible for you. And then, of course, you
Okay.
to the clarity of your own example.
So
So as you find these
This is step
moments in
1.
time where you are in a state
Step
of
2.
and you feel the cooperation of the universe, and you can feel yourself riding that magic carpet, and you can feel things working out for you in ways that
Step
perhaps they
3.
have never done before. And you can see the
4.
astonishment on the faces of those who have been observing you, because they're just not being able to figure out how things are unfolding for you.
I'm going to go pop these into the freezer now so they can set. And if it's not perfect, I'll trim it with an X-Acto knife.
You're having way too much fun because you have connected to your true power. You've come to understand.
So check this company out, Formflex.
And maybe for the first time while we're together in these days, you'll come to know
I'll be right back.
your absolute worthiness. Now, we're not going to get too carried away with that, because your acknowledgement of your value is not something that you find easily. You've practiced for a while feeling unworthy. And so you've got habits of thought. You have beliefs. You hold away good stuff for no good reason. You stand sometimes.
All right, so I popped those into the freezer. I'm gonna put these ones aside. These just came out of the freezer, so those are not ready to be painted yet.
You stand in a place of wanting to be understood.
And these will go into the next phase of the white dots soon. Not right now.
And so
I just got a request for a special Hamsa. I had a great, beautiful event last night in Keene, New Hampshire. I had a sound bath that I provided, and a few of my Hamsas went home. So I only have a few left, so I'm going to make another one here. And these are made out of Formflex.
And taste every now and again. It'll happen frequently in these hours that we're together.
This is the finished product.
And as you begin to get a taste for you, the whole of you.
And then here it is packaged for resale. Sorry about the glare.
You're going to get the hang of this. In fact, it's going to be so obvious to you. Really it is. Don't worry about a thing. It's going to be so obvious to you.
There we go. Okay. So clean up the space. This is a cornstarch dusting. I'm going to swish around in there, and this just helps the Formflex not stick to the mold. You don't want to do too much, but you want to make sure that you get it into all of the little things. You take a lot more clay or molding compound, I guess, than most of the other things that I do. So they do have a bit of a higher price point. I am running low on this. I need to order more. This is probably one of the most exciting new mediums that I have worked with in years. Actually, can't stop working with it. Thanks for popping onto my live. Happy Saturday. I'm working on some Hamsas. And I need to take these rings off. So I'm softening and sort of warming this, and then I'm going to find my rolling pin And I'm just gonna sort of like try to even it out before I squish it into the mold. This is a really soft mold. Super. Wah, wah, wah. This is a very soft mold. Bah, bah, bah. So it's just not as easy as some of the other molds that are made to work with this material. This is actually made for soaps and candles, I think. Which is not what I do. So I do really appreciate you being here. Feel free to drop a comment or subscribe to my channel. I do daily art videos, mostly at a very early hour in the morning. But every once in a while, I'm blessed with time and space to make it during hours that people are up and functioning. Normally I'm pretty quiet. I'm feeling talkative today, so I'm using my throat, my voice. Most of my videos are just me quietly working. So if you just pop it on, I'm working with Formflex Compound, which is an air dry, flexible, non-toxic, water or weather resistant compound or clay. And I just think it's the bee's knees. And so after this step, if you were watching, I made some mushrooms earlier. This goes into the freezer to set in the mold for a minimum of about 10 minutes. I'm always nervous. It's not pressed in very well. It just feels so hard to tell. If this was a proper mold for this type of medium, it would be shorter so I could scrape it. But work with what I got here. So that's that. I'm going to pop that into the freezer. And then the next step will be several coats of paint and really connecting with the art piece to figure out what the purpose of it is. So this is a one to honor divine intention. Intention is so important. So there's that. I'm going to put that in the freezer. When they come out, they look white. Then they get painted. And then they turn into final products. Okay, thanks for popping onto my live. If you were watching earlier, started making some mushrooms in the mold with Formflex compound, and popped them into the freezer. And let's see, I'm taking a risk here. I don't think it was quite 10 minutes or the suggested time to freeze them, but I'm going to see how they come out of the mold because I've sold quite a few and I want to make more, and it looks like they're going to be good just fine. Sometimes they're just a little bit more fragile. Yeah, see, so that one maybe not. Okay, so see, it's a risk. It's a risk, I tell you. This one definitely has a weak stem, so he might just turn into one that's glued onto a painting instead of a piece of jewelry. And now I'm just going to repeat the process so I can get more going. So this is a cornstarch dusting. And if you think this is cool or interesting, check out my channel because I have some cool time-lapse videos of this process. And all of my things are available. If anything speaks to you and you're interested in claiming, reach out. I think this was a candy mold that I found. I'm preparing for the Maine Fungi Fest in Portland, Maine, coming up in May, which is a super cool 2-day event. All things mushrooms. And yes, all kinds of mushrooms too. Super, super cool. There'll be live artists, music, interactive things. I'll be offering a sound bath with creative integration and doing live painting. So if you've been following my work, trying to figure out why I can't seem to stop making any art that's not mushrooms. That's why I've got this event on my brain, and I participated last year as a live artist, and it was phenomenal, super educational. I had a pretty strong connection to mushrooms, but learning more about the science of mycelium and things like that. Super cool. You can also buy mushroom spores at the Fungi Fest. So if you're interested in growing your own mushrooms, you can shop and from local mushroom farmers. You can buy spores and take them home and grow your own mushrooms in little kits. Who does not love that? I won't be selling at the market there. I'm gearing up to do a list of my own retail events, but I will be doing live painting, and I will be offering the sound bath, and I'll be having a lot of fun. Super excited. All right, so I try to get most of it into the mold without needing to trim it up with the little card. By the way, I'm Hannah Banana. I'm a live full spectrum artist and sound healer from southern New Hampshire. And this is what I'm working on right now. This is what they look like in phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4. If you're wondering what the gremlin-like noises are in the background, I have some beautiful kiddos that are downstairs playing with their papa. Sounds like he's singing opera. I am trying to reach a couple goals this month. I just passed one of them, which was getting to past 200,000 views on my channel. I did that earlier this week. And my other goal for the month is to get to 500 subscribers. So if you're into art, go ahead and give that subscribe button some love. I'm going to pop these in the freezer and wait for them to be ready. And I'm going to be more patient this time than last time. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a beautiful day. Don't forget to create.